Hi everyone, welcome to TGIF, another Friday, another episode. Episode number 125, and we'll celebrate. We'll celebrate with a leader who has a great reputation in the industry. We all look up to him at Microsoft. And trust me in this one, every conversation is no less than a masterclass when we speak to him. It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome and host Shashi Sridharan, Managing Director Microsoft India, for a short conversation. Shashi, welcome to TGIF.
Thank you, Sandeep, and thanks for having me here. I look forward to our conversation.
Wonderful. Shashi, quick question to you. We've hosted a lot of CTOs at the Tech Center. And again, one of the observations that we've had is with so much of tech happening, a barrage of information coming their way, they are confused in terms of to manage the present or create the future. And when it comes to innovation strategy, what's your take? How should they approach in creating innovation strategy to ensure that they balance both, manage present and the future? So your take, Shashi.
Sandeep, CTOs are for sure the custodians of the innovation culture in an enterprise, in a business, right? They need to they have a very difficult job in my mind. And the pace of innovation that's coming through, how much do you actually try out, say, in an iterative fashion? How much do you actually onboard and get the business to execute to? How much would you actually leave behind, make it selectively forgotten in some ways, right? And that's a very tight balance. So there are a few things that the CTOs typically can do. One is to really invest in learning, which actually results in continuous evaluation of innovations and technologies that are coming through right now, and to create that culture of innovation, and I would actually say culture of development, aka hack, a culture of hack. Then if that needs to be done, you need to empower the geeky DNA inside the enterprise, right? So how do you actually empower the developers, the technologists? And increasingly we are finding that there is rapid increase of tech intensity across functions. So you may be talking to a business analyst, but the person is fundamentally a technologist, a developer. How do you encourage that group and kind of in a very nice way, so that each one of them, they're encouraged to come out with their thoughts, their ideas, to share that in a meaningful way. Going back to stakeholders, business stakeholders, to ask for certain dedicated investments would actually help, because if they don't ask for dedicated investment, the chances that the progress of innovation would flutter along with the progress of the business. It's a tough quarter, then most of these things will come to a standstill. So you need to probably ring fence that and keep it on the side, still pursuing the innovation and innovation initiatives that they have in the organization. And then finally, I think there is this continuous evangelization of possibilities with the business stakeholders. So the CTOs literally need to be the point of evangelization with the rest of the CXOs, the business decision makers, to ensure that tech-driven innovation is the priority of every business leader in that enterprise. That's the way I would think about it.
Wonderful. Shashi, you aptly said. In fact, what I loved about your narrative is the culture of hack, which in fact, a lot of customers asking us, hey, you know what, as Microsoft, you do the world's best hackathon every year. So educate us, how do we do that? So aptly said, Shashi. Sure. So moving on, next one, Shashi, generative AI, right? The topic that none of us can avoid right now. You've been an evangelist with C-suite on this topic, and I've seen you, talk about this topic at authority many times. Now, quickly, we use this term called model as a platform. That means these foundation models are available for customers to innovate. I know you had a point of view in terms of how industry can thrive, considering this model as a platform and build IP. So you want to elaborate on that thought, Shashi?
So foundation models, which is essentially models as platforms, they're having huge amounts of knowledge and very pre-trained. So that's all provided for at the back end, right? Then there is consumption of this knowledge at the front end, and those are basically people asking smart questions and precise questions to the foundational models, and the foundational models kind of give the reply to those very precise questions.
Right.
Now, in between these two, there is a very unique space of creating many engineering bits and tools and IP to leverage the power of the foundational model for very specific purposes, right? That tooling and that build out are typically done by teams, people, organizations with deep technical capability, and also a very good understanding of that particular business environment, business scenarios. Say, for example, a financial institution actually building a set of IP and tools so that that's available for consumption and as a service, so that you can leverage a foundational model at the back end, right? That would be kind of very custom tuned, tweaked to create, to provide responses and to provide solutions to, say, a banking environment or an investment scenario or a brokerage scenario, right? So that is the big marketplace, actually. If you think about the evolution of technology services companies in the world of generative AI, there is a space where someone who understands, say, banking or healthcare or transportation or entertainment can actually create quite a few tools and IPs to leverage a foundational model at the back end, and then kind of open that up for any business that wants to leverage that foundational model through a very prescriptive, very tuned engine for a particular industry. That's the way I would think about it.
Wonderful, Shashi. In fact, that's a trail of innovation we need to see in the ecosystem, because it's largely a consumption driven right now, and the IP creation should start from here on. So thanks for the narrative, Shashi. Shashi, quick question to you. So now you meet CEOs every day. Now, there's a term that we use at Microsoft called tech intensity. Are you seeing tech intensity being elevated at that level more than ever in the current times?
That's a nice question and leading to an observation, Sandeep. Till about a year back, we used to have CEO and the chief strategy officer, along with probably heads of businesses, attend strategy briefings, right? And kind of, stay at that layer while the chief digital officer or the chief technology officer or the CIO and their teams come in for tech briefings and really evaluating and understanding the impact of technology on the business.
Right.
Since about a year, we actually have the CEOs attend the strategy briefings, but we also find the CEO joining the technology briefings, and especially in the case of evolving area of generative AI. I mean, we've had many meetings where the CEO actually spent a lot of time in the technology briefing, really trying to understand how that technology is going to shape the entire business as a whole and the industry as a whole, while also playing a very transformatory role through certain deep innovative interventions and deep innovative possibilities in their own businesses. So it's absolutely true. The tech intensity is super elevated. It is at the board level, I would argue, definitely at the CEO level. Those lines are really blurring between technology related owners in the business versus the strategy owners in the business. I think they're all coming together at this stage.
Awesome. Shashi, thank you so much. One last question before I let you go. In the recent past, any technology or a tool that you felt, wow, this is so cool? Anything you want to share?
Probably two things. I'm running on the latest preview of Teams, and there are so many new cool features that have come in, especially the soft focus capabilities that make you look absolutely great on a Teams screen. So obviously that is interesting. But I ran into a very unique innovation. It was probably, I think, in the US Shark Tank session that I saw this. It looked very simple, but it's an app in a phone, and I'm a photographer, you know that, Sandeep. So I'm literally interested in geeky sides of photography. How do you take a 360-degree shot using a phone, right? You basically download and install the app on the phone, and then you keep the phone vertically, and the app literally creates vibrations on the phone and then it keeps on taking, and the phone turns on its axis vertically, and then it keeps on taking pictures and stitching it together like the Panashot facility, but that you do manually. This one is all automatic. All you need is to have that application, and the accelerometer or the phone really senses those vibrations. There's a full feedback loop and very smooth orchestration. And it's almost like, to go back to electrical engineering, like a stepper motor feature. Very nicely and very smoothly, the phone takes a 360 degrees while taking pictures and beautifully stitches it together. I thought that was very good.
Shashi, awesome. That was fantastic. In fact, I will definitely check it out. Very intriguing in terms of what it can do. Of course, it looks like a very economical solution, right? That anybody can use it. So awesome. Shashi, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thanks for having me here. I enjoyed the conversation and wish you the very best.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. And for all viewers today, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Keep watching TGIF. Have a wonderful Friday. A great weekend ahead. Bye-bye.